Hello everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an absolutely fantastic day. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. We're going to start with the weirdest and wildest and most out of this world news first. If you haven't been paying attention over the last 2 weeks or so, everyone is relatively hyped, energetic as to the future of Bitcoin ETFs, the idea of where the market's going to go, the halving, how high prices will be either by the end of this year, the middle of next year, the end of next year, you name it, it's all over the place. And we're getting a dramatic amount of price predictions. And a lot of times I wonder who thinks of this stuff. Anyway, jumping right into it. It says XRP may be on a trajectory to break above $1. This is forecasted by someone, a market analyst called Crypto Insight, who apparently has identified a golden cross on the weekly RSI. I'm really close. I tend to have these things in life. I don't know if it's a type of ADHD. Like, I'm honestly not sure at all. Where I see things and I remember them very, like, I can see them once again in my mind's eye, if you will. And I am at the point where I kind of want to collect articles that consistently say that coins are going to be here or that coin prices are going to be there. There's so many articles that pop up all the time. Like, you need to understand this is a literal everyday kind of thing that indicate or say that there's some type of a golden cross on someone's chart that indicates that this coin is going to move up to a certain price within a certain allotted time frame. 85% of the time, it's articles about Bitcoin. The other 15 are a weird mesh between Ether, XRP, and Cardano. That's like the usual last little bits of it. And there are so many articles that can consistently state there's an analyst who says that this coin's price is going to move up because they found a golden cross. However, the price never, not to say that it won't, however, within the allotted time frame given in the actual article, it never actually ends up happening. It's usually down to people trying to time the market and or tell other people that they can time the market, and it just doesn't usually take place. This article right here is popular. That's the word, because this analyst has said that XRP is going to cross $1 in 16 days. That is a very exact time frame for when XRP is going to cross $1. People have been saying that XRP was going to cross $1 since around the end of 2022. It's been a very long time. Not to say that it won't, and there's a reason why I said we're going to go over the weird articles first, because this is kind of the multitude of what's really floating out there right now. I think the word's not impatience. I think we've all been going through this market for quite a bit of time, and we're all anxious to see where prices are going to go. But giving these like exact time frames, the only thing that's really going to get the market moving once again is either February, like us being in February, or us getting some type of positive news once again about an actual Bitcoin ETF. Also in the news, why does that keep popping up? Also in the news is people are talking about the prices of coins in November. September, for some reason, is supposed to be a positive month for prices. September usually always is a negative month for prices. We heard last month in October that people usually call it Uptober. And it just so happened that we happened to have news about a Bitcoin ETF, and that was the movement up Otherwise, I do not think we would have moved up anyway organically. So now everybody's very actively responsive about November. And people are projecting, market analysts are talking about that Ethereum could hit 2,500 in November of this year. There's been a lot of articles since around summertime talking about when Ether is going to pass by 2,000. Even as it floats, moves around $1,800. If you look around the amount of articles discussing when will the bulls prevail, when will Ethereum pass by 2,000, there was another article a day or two ago. I don't think I have it in this video. I don't think it's there. Where this guy said something along the lines of he's expecting Ethereum to like breeze, like literally skip past $10,000. He said people won't realize it. You know, it's going to happen so fast. You know, oh my gosh, I can't believe it that it kind of took place. And it's like, okay, cool. Well, whenever we get there, we'll definitely get there. I'm still optimistic for a $9,000 to $10,000 Ether just because it is like roughly double the previous all-time high. But we're also getting those $25,000 bull run Ethereum price expectations, and I kind of back away from them because when the numbers get too intense, I think people get wrapped up in them and then kind of end up expecting these insane numbers to actually end up happening. So yeah, people are expecting a $2,500 Ether sometime in November. I would say that at that point, Bitcoin's price would probably have to be $45,000. And that would be enough of a catalyst, maybe, to actually get us over a $1 Ether. Also, in just strange and very weird news, it says on the screen, for those of you who are not looking, it says, in an ironic turn of events, it's not, and I'll tell you why, a recently resurfaced video from 2019 has revealed SEC Chairman Gary Gensler criticizing the agency he now heads for its inconsistent approach towards spot Bitcoin ETF approvals. The timing of this revelation couldn't be more interesting as debates around the legitimacy and potential of Ethereum ETFs has reached a fever pitch. So time is, once again, as I say in like every fourth video, a very interesting thing. Just because things keep happening within the cryptocurrency space and people who are new to the cryptocurrency space find out things that have happened within the cryptocurrency space and then tell other people that this is the first time that this has happened. We, me, you, I, us, if you've been here since the beginning of 2019, if not the end of 2018, if you've been here for that long, I give you a golf clap. Thank you very much for having been here for that long. We have known about Gary Gensler since then. Gary Gensler wasn't popular, but he was actually one of the people who was highlighted around the world who spoke positively about cryptocurrencies. He gave a speech in 2019, I believe it was with Hester Pierce, where he basically was talking about he doesn't understand why the SEC would allow Bitcoin futures to go through and not Bitcoin ETFs, as they're basically kind of the exact same thing regulatory wise. One of them deals with the asset in question physically, but in the regulatory space, there's not really much of a difference. Over the last couple of years, we've seen Gary Gensler becoming this like goblin-like monster almost within the cryptocurrency space, where he has, for some reason, apparently he is the god of the SEC. He has the final authority to tell everyone yay and nay, which is, I think, absolutely spectacular when it comes to democracy, to let one person decide for millions of people what's going to happen. However, we've seen his attitude quickly shift, where he talks about cryptocurrencies are only being used by criminals or need to be regulated. He won't regulate them, and now they need to be regulated by force, what have you. So people found this video from 2019 that we were also talking about last year, when we also had this conversation when multiple other companies were rejected for a Bitcoin ETF. And now people found this video once again, are pretending like it's the first time that any of us has ever seen it. And they're talking about how Gary Gensler is a hypocrite. And it's like, Yes, we got that. Is this your first time seeing, meeting, talking to Gary Gensler? We have realized that for some time. There's a reason why people in the cryptocurrency space continue to throw around the word corruption when it follows the SEC and or Gary Gensler. Because you cannot have a view one day and the next day you go, oh no, I'm sorry, that wasn't my view before. Clearly behind the scenes, we will never know because we are not important enough to be in these rooms with these people. But when you talk about closed door conversations, why do you think the door is closed? What do you think these people are talking about? So clearly on some level within the SEC, we can't say if it is or is not Gary Gensler, but logic tells us one thing. Clearly, someone is being paid on some level in some sort of way. However, people are once again, probably a lot of new people who are here new to the market are talking about that this is crazy that Gary Gensler said this before, and they can't understand how his viewpoint changed. I will tell you right now, a lot of your viewpoints would change as well if someone put $5 million in front of you. You'd be like, what? Who cares about the people? In the 2019 video clip, a pre-SEC Gensler engages in a fireside chat with SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce at the MIT Bitcoin Expo. During the conversation, Gensler highlighted the discrepancy in the SEC's treatment of Bitcoin futures and ETFs. He says, and I quote, Bitcoin futures, and I think Ethereum futures and so forth will exist, and Bitcoin futures have not, and that feels a little inconsistent to me. We knew this was a thing. We've seen this happen before. He also used to teach at MIT, which is something that we also knew. He was, once again, not very popular in the space, but he was known as one of the people who understood blockchain and cryptocurrencies. You might even remember when he was put as the head of the SEC, a lot of people were quite excited. Why? Because people were looking to see who he was, and they found old speeches from him when he was a professor at MIT, and he was talking about the benefits of Bitcoin and blockchain and how it could change the world. So imagine everyone's surprise when this man took office and he was an absolute raging goblin dragon as we currently see him today. So yeah, that goes into the weird, and I'm trying not to use the word stupid, but that, it's all being thrown into that one box. Here's another really weird one. I saw this. I thought it was a joke. I looked around. Nope, people are totally serious about this news. So apparently there's a company called Uphold. Uphold has a partnership with Ripple. I'm not sure if it's new. I'm not sure if it's old. I'm not sure if it's blue. I'm not sure exactly what it is. However, for some reason, and this seems to be the current trend right now, people were looking back at old tweets from Uphold. I'm not sure how that became a thing. It's kind of like whenever there's a celebrity who's in a movie, people look back at their old tweets from 9 years ago, and they're like, he said he didn't like chocolate ice cream. He's a monster. And it's like, okay, sure. I'm sure you also have changed as a person in 9 years, but that's something. Anyway, so people began to look back at old tweets from Uphold and about their relationship with Ripple. Have they ever said anything negative or positive about XRP or Ripple? As if they're gatekeeping in some sort of way, as if the partnership can't take place until the Ripple XRP community has decided. People found an old tweet from Uphold asking people, the community, what would you do if XRP hit $1,000 per coin? That is to say, there have been a number, it's not as common anymore, but years ago, people used to post stuff like this on Twitter. I even post stuff like this sometimes. I'll give you a time frame. I recently posted a couple days ago, hey, it's summer 2025. Where do you see yourself? What do you want to do? Where do you want to be? Fairly normal, fairly common. So people years ago used to post stuff like, hey, Bitcoin goes to $1 million. What do you do? Ethereum hits 100K per coin. What's your next move? Like that kind of thing. So Uphold posted something like that. And for some reason, people understood Uphold writing a tweet about something that could potentially happen over the course of the next century, and took it as Uphold saying, and now here's the weird part. People believed that Uphold was hinting that they knew that XRP was going to $1,000, and therefore they were giving the community the hint to buy XRP before it hit $1,000. That's why I thought it was a joke when I was going around and I was like, oh, people were completely serious about this. In the wake of the Uphold Ripple partnership, the community has questioned Uphold's previous discussions concerning XRP potentially reaching $1,000. They said nothing about XRP potentially reaching $1,000. They said, what would you do? The well-known American cryptocurrency exchange Uphold, with a history of support for XRP, is under scrutiny due to the conversations they had in the past. These discussions revolved around the hypothetical scenario of XRP reaching 1,000, which went unnoticed by the community. I promise you they didn't. Anytime that anyone says anything about price movements or price predictions, especially revolving around Bitcoin or XRP, people lose their gosh darn minds. XRP community members unearthed, that sounds dramatic, these past statements in light of Uphold's recent partnership with Ripple. The new information has sparked curiosity within the XRP community on whether Uphold was dropping hints. Why would they have dropped hints? What makes you think that Uphold would have classified information that XRP is going to $1,000? Do you understand? Every time that we keep hearing, what's that guy's name? Was it Max Kaiser? I don't remember. There was someone recently in the cryptocurrency news who was talking about Bitcoin going to these, like, what makes you think that he is privy to all the news? If this man knew for a fact, April 25th, 2028, Bitcoin was going to $15 million, do you think he'd be telling the community, or do you think he'd be buying as much as possible in silence, or maybe just telling his friends so they can buy up all the Bitcoin and become mega billionaires? In what universe do you think that Uphold asking? It's just so, the cryptocurrency space is so incredibly odd. Between 2021 and 2022, Uphold went on Twitter to talk about XRP and asking people what would they do if it reached $1,000. And people were chatting back to them, yada, yada, yada. Is it oxygen? Do people just need to go outside? Someone wrote on Twitter, why has Uphold Inc. always talked about XRP hitting $1,000 in the past? Because it sounds like an unreachably weird number for a lot of coins. It's like someone being like, hey, what would you do if Cardano hit $947? Well, it's Monday. Ethereum just hit $500,000. What do you do? It seems completely believable, based off of logic, that XRP is going to hit its previous all-time high. $5 is going to be there. $10 to $15 seems like a definite, after all the accumulation and pent-up energy for the coin. $35 during the next bull run seems like a long stretch. $100 is like maybe in the next two halvings if we see like hyper consistency within XRP and Ripple's movements and tons of coin burn. $500 is like we're on the cusp of talking about like the world's economic system is like basically ending and everyone's like shifting over to use XRP. And I'm not going to get into that conversation with anyone. So this person says, why has Uphold always talked about XRP hitting $1,000 in the past? Hidden message? $1,000 confirmed? The partnership between Ripple and Uphold now seems to be something that has been planned for a long time. If you have the opportunity to do so, go for a walk. If you if you find the time, maybe read a book, crack a window. And I listen, I'm not saying this. I've had a lot of friends who've been in the cryptocurrency space, and I also had to tell them to like calm it down. I had friends who checked the prices around 20 times a day. Like, not a joke. Their phone was constantly in their hands and they're just always looking at the prices, and it would move their mood up and down if the prices went up by 0.5%, or if things had fallen down by 1/20th of a percent, but the market was still in red, like the actual color red. Uphold, Max Kaiser, Brad Garlinghouse, TMI, you name it. Nobody knows where the market is going to go. Not one single person. We have an idea as to where things could go based off of previous price trajectory. There was also another one with this guy was talking about XRP. I think he said hitting $42. Why? Because he was basing it off of XRP being less than 1 cent and going to $3.80. And he multiplied how far that went. And therefore, he said from the previous all-time high to where we currently are now, he's seeing XRPs and is like, okay, so I'm not sure why a lot of this news always revolves around the XRP community looking for answers. Like, you have the answers in front of you. Like, you know that Ripple is working with world banks. You know that there are central bank digital currency is going to be built on top of the XRP ledger. Everything they said years ago is coming true and will be coming true as more partnerships continue to roll out. Why is there always this really weird thing where people look for weird photos of dogs on top of thrones holding a scepter with a number above it and stars and lights? And I don't get it. I don't. This was very popular news. This was absolutely incredibly popular news. Also moving along. Also being thrown directly into that really weird, odd box. I'm trying to figure out how to even, like, where to begin on this one, because this one is a lot. So we have known for a while that Elon Musk has wanted to make some type of a payment system. He's been involved in multiple different companies that have tried to do something digital online. He's tried using the letter X from multiple companies that he's made before in the past that have all failed. He continuously tried to do it to other companies as well. And you cannot, I think legally within the US, I think you cannot name multiple different types of companies the letter X. There's also something around like the actual website letter X and then .com. There's so many legality things that are revolved around this. Upon hearing years ago that Elon Musk made a joke that he was going to buy Twitter, he actually moved further. He made a bid for it and the bid was accepted. He tried to like get out of the entire thing. I'm not sure if everyone remembers that. You can easily Google it. I'm not making up anything because he probably realized that he actually didn't want Twitter. A lot of people believe that he actually was trying to acquire Twitter as some type of a revenge thing. I don't know what. It was one of the rumors at the time. Apparently he didn't like someone and he was trying to show them up to show them exactly how much money that he had. What a lot of people didn't know is that Elon Musk's money, the same as many other billionaires, is not liquid. That is to say, it's tied up in a multitude of other assets, usually stocks and bonds and mutual funds and ETFs and real estate and other homes and boats and gold, you name it. It's in a multitude of different things, and art, yada, yada, yada. It's not completely liquid. So he had to find other people who were going to join into the venture to help him to acquire Twitter. When the entire thing went through, for a lot of you who don't remember, I think even Twitter threatened that they were going to sue him because he tried to back out of the acquisition because it was way too much money that he did not have. He joined hands with a bunch of other people to try and acquire Twitter, because he had to. He found a bunch of other investors who joined in with him. And then one of the main things that ended up happening almost instantaneously is that a lot of people began to leave the platform. They were trying to give people yellow checks, blue checks, red checks. Anyone can be verified, but then that also tumbled into something absolutely terrible as well. In between all of this commotion, and also if you use a time machine to go about 2.5 years further back, We've had a lot of information that allegedly Elon Musk has been trying to gain control of and or be the main person CEO of a lot of different cryptocurrency companies. A lot of this is, I believe it's not speculation. I think it's completely logical to believe that if someone believes that they own everything, that they're going to try and own everything. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that Elon Musk went to a bunch of different cryptocurrency projects trying to get control over them. And this is why he is now favoring Dogecoin, what have you. Tying the Dogecoin and the entire Twitter acquisition thing all into one big bundle, Twitter doesn't have as much money as it was before. Twitter has also never been profitable. Twitter has never been profitable, and it wasn't before he acquired it, and it still definitely is not now, as a bunch of people have left. You may notice there's a whole bunch of really weird stuff and companies and stuff like that all over Twitter now, trying to get some type of revenue from it. One of the main thought processes of acquiring Twitter was we have to find a way to actually make this profitable, because it simply is not. In the same hand that Elon Musk many years ago desperately tried to make different payment platforms, different other things that ended up failing, he announced at some point at the end of last year, or maybe the middle of last year, I don't remember exactly what it is, that he kind of wants to make Twitter an everything app, and everyone completely lost their minds. Because instead of assuming that it meant like literally everything, a lot of people just focused on the idea of it being some type of a finance app, the place where you can do all your business, all your monies, all your checks and balances, all in one given place. And this led a lot of people to believe that he was going to integrate Dogecoin into the app before everything else, and everyone completely went euphoric, assuming that there was going to be a social media platform where you could do everything you wanted at any given time with no borders and no issues and no problems, because Elon Musk is the king of the entire world. I then made a video when that news came out. It must have been a year ago, I don't remember. And I told everyone, you all need to calm down, because part of the problem is that this is going to basically be the same as a bank and or the same as a cryptocurrency exchange. What a lot of people don't realize is, regardless of how rich Elon Musk says that he actually is, or how much of his money is not liquid and his net worth, you cannot bypass regulatory anything. It's just simply not a thing. You may be able to get around some red and yellow tape with money being thrown at it, but you can't get around everything. The idea of Twitter becoming a financial hub, or a place where you can do all of your monetarily businesses, is going to come down to, once again, the same as a bank or a cryptocurrency exchange. You are going to have to give your address, your ID, your passport information. They're going to need your bank account information. Everything that you do is going to be linked to Twitter. The same exact platform that many other times has been hacked, has been ransacked, and other people's information has been completely stolen. The entire idea of you graciously, like really wanting to put all of your financial information onto Twitter because you think it'll somehow be easier, is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And I can tell you exactly why. The main one being is because we already have other places that are far more secure than Twitter for you to put your money and deal with your money. They're not the securest, because nothing is 100% secure in life. We should all know that at this point. But it would make literally a lot more sense for you to put your money into a bank that is FDIC insured, and or, hear me out here, even put it on a cryptocurrency exchange with like 3-form factor authentication to make sure that your money is actually safe. The idea that people are clamoring for the idea of putting their money onto Twitter and using it as a bank account is nonsense, because you can also already do that with a multitude of other platforms. You also you have Apple, and you even have Robinhood. So, the news recently was that Elon Musk has re-announced that he wants to make Twitter this one in all encompassing financial hub for everyone to use as the place where they can go to deal with all their monies. A lot of people are saying that this is like going to be the new age of banking, in that we will have a new system under Lord Musk where he's going to make Twitter basically this place where we can use our money when we want, how we want. He also said users will no longer need a bank account after this has happened. Understand that everything you need to open a bank account will then be required on Twitter for you to be able to even use Twitter or its monetary services. There is no scenario on this planet where Twitter is going to become a complete free-for-all. How do I know that? Because the cryptocurrency market is already scrutinized because of people moving around $5,000 a day without telling the government. So we can only assume that on what was previously the most popular social media platform on the planet, you trying to move around money in Dogecoin, you sending your friend $500,000, you spending $500,000 and or moving it on Twitter is going to be hyper scrutinized, and the government is going to know exactly who you are, because you are moving around money on a social media platform. The other really weird part that I think that I truly do assume that A, people have either completely lost it, or B, have no reason to be in the cryptocurrency space. And I say that in the nicest way possible. The point of the cryptocurrency space and the point of Bitcoin is the actual idea of financial and economic freedom. We have a system, and I will call it a blockchain, from Bitcoin that allows 8 billion people on the planet, 8 billion, doesn't matter where you are, who you are, or where you came from, everyone is able to use and implement the blockchain to send value around the world and or simply hold Bitcoin if they see fit. There is no need to register. There is no need to give anyone your information. You can simply go ahead and do it. The idea of not needing a bank account anymore already exists because we already have multiple hyper decentralized blockchains that allow people this type of economic freedom that everyone is so desperate for Elon Musk to give them. The idea of no longer needing a bank account, sure, that sounds amazing, but then you also understand that cryptocurrency exchanges said the exact same thing when they were also sprouting up. The idea is that we're the new bank, we're the neobank. We're the bank that you can use without actually having to use a bank. Banks are old and tired. Use a cryptocurrency exchange. Keep your money here. You can have your US dollars, you can have your euros, you can have your stable coins. We'll even issue you a Visa and a MasterCard through our cryptocurrency exchange, so you don't even have to use a bank anymore. You can use our crypto exchange with your debit or credit card, and look at that, you're in the new system. And then you realize, well, I had to give you my ID, I had to give you my address, I had to give you my name, I had to show you exactly who I was through a video chat in order for me to open this up. That sounds very similar to a bank account. That's very weird, but it's definitely not a bank account. We already have cryptocurrencies. And when I say that people shouldn't be in the space, it's because no one gets it. No one understands what the point of all of this is. Everyone in the space now is so desperate to integrate us and to mesh us and to tie us directly to the old system. We're basically going to become the old system, and then there will be no new system. In 20 years, the idea of Bitcoin being free and for the people, where'd you hear that from? You read it in a book or something? Oh, that's, no one's understanding what we have already in front of us, what the governments are already integrating and buying. What's the point of you being like, I can't have economic freedom until Elon Musk allows me to do so? And then you sign up for these things on Twitter because you're going to have to give your information. There is no place on the planet where you can join a company, you can join any platform that revolves around, nowhere on the planet, that revolves around sending money and they don't know who you are. This made incredibly popular news. You can't begin to imagine exactly how popular this news was. It says Elon Musk, the CEO of Twitter, has revealed plans to turn the social media platform into an all-encompassing financial hub. Musk made the revelation. This isn't a revelation. Why do people keep talking about news that we've known about for years as if it's now brand new? The problem is that this news was everywhere as if this was his first time talking about this. Musk made the revelation during an all-hands call with the company's employees last Thursday and claimed that his aim is to make Twitter users not need bank accounts anymore after his plans are implemented. According to a report by The Verge, Musk noted that the proposed payment features would become available on Twitter by the end of next year. According to him, it would be a powerful implementation, and the people would be surprised by the extent of such powers. He said, when I say payments, I mean someone's entire financial life. You want to talk about stupidly dystopian? Give all of your entire financial life to Elon Musk. Do it. I don't understand. If you get a chance, and I know there are tons of people who are in love with Elon Musk. I think it's the cringiest thing in the entire world because it's just the internet. When I say it's the internet, it's about time. When I say it's about time, you can find on the internet every single thing that Elon Musk has said that he was going to do. And look at how he either did not do it or how it failed. There are websites that catalog literally everything this man has said, down from his robots that would be walking the earth in 2021, that he then showed us were actually people in costumes. And then he showed us this terrible robot that no one has been talking about for the last 6 or so months. The fact that he did not found Tesla. He bought Tesla. And apparently, allegedly, he made the people sign non-disclosure agreements so that they could never, ever say out loud that they created Tesla. He, by legally owning it, is now the only person who can legally, allegedly say that he created it. The same exact thing with him. PayPal. Remember his Hyperloop. SpaceX. The free internet that he was going to have around the world. The reason why people asked me before on Twitter, people were like, I don't understand why you dump on him so much. You can literally see 95% of everything this man has said has not come true. He has not been able to implement it. You even find people who used to work for him before, they say he can't code. He doesn't create. He simply tells other people to do so. It's in his name, and then he says, I made it. It's very simple. Take time out of your day to just look up this information. It is going to completely change your view. The fact that so many people love him when all he's done is nothing over these years, having money doesn't make you something. You really have to understand that in your life. People conflate the idea of, well, he's rich, he has money. Clearly, he is more than I. Far too often. Elon Musk is not better than you in any sort of way. His family started out rich. For those of you who missed that before, because I just heard someone suck their teeth. For those of you who missed that, I believe it was summer or maybe spring of this year. Elon Musk had something on Twitter where he was like, if someone can prove that my family was rich when I was a kid, I'll give you, I think it was $1 million in Dogecoin. It has something to do with Dogecoin. And you know who came forward? His father. His father came forward and he was like, well, can I get the $1 million? You want to know why? Because his father provided evidence that when they were kids, he owned an emerald mine and I believe a ruby mine. He's like, I don't understand why Elon Musk keeps telling people that he didn't grow up rich or grow up on the mine. He's like, all my kids had emerald rings when they were younger. They all had emerald necklaces. He's like, yes, we made money from this. I think him and his mother and father separated. I believe she moved to Canada or she moved somewhere else. If you're really good with accents at all, if if you can tell the difference between like and I air quote here, a normal accent and like a very posh accent, listen to documentaries with his mother talking. His mother has a I've been rich since I was born accent. That's literally not a joke. You must have seen, some of you must have seen on Instagram recently and even maybe on Netflix, the documentary with David Beckham. And there's a part where Victoria's giving like a little interview in one of the rooms, and she's talking about how she grew up middle class. And then David Beckham's head pops out and he's like, be honest, because she's lying the entire time. And then finally she goes, okay, when I was younger, like we were driving a Rolls Royce. It's the exact same thing. A lot of people will have you believe that they grew up destitute and we had no money, we had nothing. His mother grew up rich. He grew up rich, because you saw that one or two photo with him wearing baggy clothes, standing in the street with a bald spot, does not mean that he was poor. Same exact thing for Zuckerberg, same exact thing for Bill Gates. These people had money. You don't find $300,000 to start a company somewhere. It doesn't happen that way. You know people. Look into what he has said over the last 15 years and everything that he has not done. And then you'll find the list of things that he has done. And you're like, oh, that's not really anything. So the fact that anyone, there's one person on this planet who is waiting to give Elon Musk the entirety of their financial life. And it is incredibly weird. So anyway, yeah, everyone is going insane. The speculation is once again running wild as to if Elon Musk is going to be integrating Dogecoin, which is probably going to be a major topic of discussion sometime next year. It is nearly abundantly clear that he is going to implement crypto in some sort of way. He wants as many people onto the platform as possible. He wants all of your data. He wants all of your information. And the biggest problem is going to be in 2025, 2027, summer of 2028, where there's an inevitable hack on Twitter and 300,000 people have their information taken. They will have your literal entire financial life in front of them. It doesn't make a lot of sense. There were a lot of articles written about Elon Musk writing freedom and how this is going to change the entire world. How can none of you, and I know some of you do, high five. I gave you a high five. I'm literally high-fiving the air right now. How other people cannot see how nonsensical all of this is. I really don't get it. Anyway, yeah, I think that's going to do it for this video. A lot of very weird news. And believe me, there's more to come, because that's, the cryptocurrency space doesn't get normal. I do sincerely hope that you've all enjoyed. I do sincerely hope that you, as always, do your own research. Stop hearing things and running towards it. Stop seeing something shiny at the end of the street and, just jetting towards it immediately. Look up stuff. I do hope you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day. Morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.